So here's an email from a recent customer, a recent install, David Bittman. It says, Chuck, just wanted to let you know that with the heavy rains on Saturday, the system you put in for the 2 kennels worked perfectly, with not a drop of water getting in. We appreciate your fine design. David Bittman in Ocala.
Hey, good morning. Chuck here with Apple Drains. Today we are waterproofing and parging a kennel. This is the back side of the kennel. We are in Ocala, Florida, kind of a drive for us. But you know, Ocala is the horse capital of the world, in case you guys didn't know that. All the training horses, racing horses, they come down here and they train for the winter, you know, for Belmont and those kind of things, Kentucky Derby. So let me show you what we're doing here. This homeowner has had this water problem for years, and he tells me every time it rains that the water floods into this kennel. Let me teach you how to solve this type of a problem. It will work on all basements, crawl spaces, and even here in Florida where we have a slab foundation, and it works so well. I mean, you read the email that he sent right after we installed it, and it works great. We're using Easy Flow, which is perforated pipe surrounded by styrofoam peanuts, and it's encased in a fabric. Wow, does it work! And it works even better when we bring the gravel to grade. If you look closely here, you can see how they've tried to stop the water. They created a swell out of concrete, put flashing up under, you know, into the concrete and up under the siding, so the water shoots around the side of the building. That works pretty good, but the real problem is out back. Let's go out there and take a look. So the guys have already started to parge the wall. Parge is the term that we use to waterproof a wall. They've already started to dig. They're going to dig a trench all along this foundation. And once that trench is done, we will install the Easy Flow plus bring gravel to grade. And yes, we're going to bring it in by the bag. There's nothing wrong with that. We have some obstacles. We have a huge oak tree, and you can see they've already started to excavate some of this, but it became overwhelming, and they decided to, you know, call in Apple Drains to finish and actually get the job done properly. This is a great project for the do-it-yourselfer. You could truly save $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 by doing this yourself. So Chuck already got the hole for the sump basin down. You can see it quite deep. Now we just dig right along that wall. A couple obstacles there. If you follow these instructions, watch the video, and learn, I promise you that you will solve your water problem. We have 100% success rate, 100% on every job that we install. And I think I've made it pretty easy for you to follow the videos. Yeah, there's some, you know, extra talk in there, but if you follow the videos, complete each step, you will have a dry foundation. So luckily we have access. This is a vacant property, and we have access where we can get, you know, the trailer right up here to put the gravel in. Makes it really nice. So a quick follow-up. A lot of people ask me about our 2008 Chevy van. Well, you can see we brought that out here to the job site. We've got 565,000 miles, and it just runs great. You know, I've been using those Fram filters, which everybody in the whole internet just says they're crap. But wow, 550,000 miles. Find another filter that does that. Okay, so we're going to set up a Zoller M98. Comes in a box. Inside the box, don't forget, you've got your instructions in here, and this is also your warranty card, so don't lose it. The box itself has some really good instructions. Suggest you keep that always. So this sets up pretty straightforward. We've got 1.5 inch threaded male adapter. Okay, male goes into the female. It's got a port on the pump. We're going to put this in here, make it hand tight. It's as tight as you can make it with your hand. Next, we've cut a small riser. We call this a riser. And that extends from the fitting to just right at the bottom of the safety bar right here. And we also drill, if you can see it, we also drill a 3/16 inch hole for a pressure relief. We're going to glue that up.
This is an all-in-one glue. That means it has primer built into it. Lots of glue around both. Push it in and hold. Just push it down in there and hold it. Just for a couple seconds, because it tries to push itself back out, so hold it in place for just a few seconds. Next, next we're going to put a check valve on there. And you've seen many of the videos, I talk about this a lot. On your check valve, you may not have this particular check valve, but on your check valve there's going to be some type of marking that tells you the direction of water flow. This one has arrows that point upward, so we know that we want that water to come up, and inside there's a valve. Won't let the water drop back down. Put that on top. And that is held together with these stainless steel bands. This is called a no hub adapter. We'll tighten that up. 5/16" drill, just as tight as you can make it. We're ready to install the pump. It's that quick. So a lot of people get really afraid about that sump pump, but it's really something that's very simple to do. And all pumps set up the same way. I like Zollers. They come with a 3-year warranty, and wow, this pump is an M98, half horsepower. It can pump almost 100 gallons per minute. I mean, you do the math. That is super fast. That's 3 trash cans full of water every minute. That's how fast this thing pumps. So next, what we'll do is put this down in the sump basin. This is the sump basin right here. And oh, by the way, sump basins. You need a good sized basin so that has like a reservoir, because we want the water to come into the basin and then it fills up. It fills up, and then this float comes up. Can you hear that click? When it's in the up position, pump kicks on, sends all the water out, float goes down, kicks it off and shuts off. So it's very automatic. These basins come with preset nipples. They also have knockouts that you could drill a hole into for your inlet coming in. And it's easier to do it upside down, turn your basin upside down, but I'm just going to cut it off. Get yourself a good 4-inch hacksaw. That means it's going to cut 4 inches or more when you do this, and just cut it right off. This little piece here comes in really handy because you can use this as an end cap for your French drain if you wanted to. You can just stick this right onto the pipe. The 4-inch pipe fits right inside that, and it snaps right on. So if you want to keep that, people ask, do you cap the beginning of your line? Yeah, you can do it with this. So we've got an inlet line. This is accepting our footer pipe coming into the sump basin. Now we're ready to set this in place. When you dig out the hole for your sump basin, make sure it's wide enough to fit your basin down in. You can see these guys did a really nice job, a little bit of extra room on the side. And then of course when we backfill, we just tuck all that dirt back underneath of there so it stays really solid. We do have an obstacle in our way. You can see that electrical conduit, and those guys are working on some tree roots right there. Huge oak tree that came across, and of course that's undermining that foundation as well, so we're cutting those out of there. But notice where the inlet line is. Just push it off at a 45 in this particular instance, and we'll bring our footer pipe right into the sump basin. Set the sump pump down in place, and then what we're going to do for the discharge is right here, we're going to drill a 2-inch hole, because we're going to have 1.5-inch pipe that comes up, makes a 90, and comes right through here. That line comes out, and you can see the trench. They've already dug it. We're discharging clear down to the end of the fence. So at this point, we've got the sump pump set down into the sump basin, and you can see we've got the inlet line or the inlet hole installed. Next, we need to drill a 2-inch discharge. So this is a 2-inch hole saw. You use your handy dandy Black & Decker or whatever you got. Simply drill right through it. You see how quick that is. So fast. And you see the hole. This is going to accept the 1.5-inch pipe as it comes through. We'll be able to run that 1.5-inch pipe from the sump pump. Comes right out through that hole, and we'll go on down the trench. So yeah, tough spot, big roots from this tree, and you really can't get a good swing because of the overhead. You can't get a good cut down onto that with the axe, but they're about halfway through. That's a big root right there. But we need to get that out of there so we can lay that footer pipe. You can see the footer pipe has to come right down through there. Looks like they got the other one out. They just need to clean it out, and they're all done. So basically, this is my saying, if you believe you can do something, I guarantee you can do it. If you believe you can get through that root, I guarantee you'll get through it. You just have to keep working at it. Figure out the best way to chop, use a hacksaw, use a sawzall, anything you can find. But we found that the axe works the best. So I found the best way to do this is to just take a piece of 1.5" PVC and slide it through. Stick your 90 on there, but don't glue it. And then we just need to make the measurement from the inside top of that 90, the top of the coupling, down into the no-hub. And you can use a saw or a stick, just transfer the measurement, cut it off. Okay, so you can see I've glued it up. So we have, let's go review. From the pump itself, we have a male threaded 1.5" adapter, a small riser with a small pressure relief hole, 3/16 inch. That goes to your check valve. Check valve comes up, another riser, 90, comes through the side of the sump basin. Remember, we're all underground, right? And here, we're going to switch over to 2-inch. Okay, we're ready to switch over to 2-inch. And just to show you, there's lots of ways that you could do this. I mean, there's all kinds of different ways. This is a 1.5" inside to the outside 2-inch. It's called a bushing. And we're going to glue the 1.5". It slides into, the 1.5" slides into the inside of the bushing, and then you need a coupling, and that's going to go around the outside of the bushing. And then the 2-inch pipe begins here. We'll slide it in. We're going to glue all that up, continue to put it on down the line. One other quick note, it's much easier to put all your pipe together on the outside of the trench. In other words, don't lay it and try to put one piece at a time. Glue it all together so you've got a long line and just lay it down in the trench and you're all done. Okay, so you can kind of see what we've done is we created a small retaining wall just out of pieces of wood that were laying around here. And then we're just pouring gravel, to backfill because they'd already excavated all this. And we want to make sure that any surface water also comes into our system just because of how this is graded. Everything's graded this direction. And so pour as much gravel as you can, just keep pouring it, fill it all the way up. We'll do that all the way down to the sump basin. Okay, we're discharging here at a 6x6 catch basin because this pump really puts out a lot of water. You can see the catch basin right there. The grate, that water is going to come flood up and go out and then just run naturally, over to the easement area. Not a problem. And then we've got our pipe. We're backfilling. They're almost done. And everything's complete. This job's complete. Should keep that building nice and dry for years and years to come. So after you have all of your install complete, he's going to need an electrician. He needs a GFI outlet put right there on the wall, and the sump pump cord, of course, is going to come right over. It's 110 volt. It plugs directly in. Easy to change the pump. A lot of people ask, should you hardwire the pump? I say no, because each time you have to change the pump, you've got to redo all that wiring. Keep the plug on there, 110 volt. You plug it into a GFI outside outlet. You're all set. We brought gravel to grade, along the side. Looks really good, and it should stop the water from coming into this building without any problem. So we're just finishing up. We're just going to mound it up, get a nice clean trench, that just has dirt on the top. It will naturally settle. We don't need to worry about any of that. This is kind of a natural area. Piece of cake job, guys. A good job for the do-it-yourselfer.
So he's back at it again, that guy up there in Michigan. He just has to put down apple drains, chuck in a truck, all the things that he says. It's just hilarious. And he tells people that that's his career, is to educate people about chucking the truck. I don't know why, I have no clue. But anyways, look at the end of the video, watch and learn. And the sad thing is that what he shows, it looks like pretty good work, but he just can't get through a video without putting down Chuck in a Truck, which everyone knows is Apple Drains. So if you're watching this guy's channel, be careful.
Hey, this is Chuck with Apple Drains, reminding you that if you believe you can do something, I guarantee you can do it. Have a great day.
You know, Apple Drains installs more French drain systems than any other company. Take a look. This is an emergency install. This is in the clay, the mud. These homeowners just moved into the house this very day, and their bedroom was flooding. Groundwater rises up, floods right into their bedroom. They were heartbroken. We're out here in the pouring rain, in the mud, installing a system. This is the type of work that Apple Drains does. We install French drains, we install channel drain, we install basement drains, foundation drains, crawl space drains. So many people, so many channels out here giving you information, and they've never picked up a shovel. It just amazes me. It just amazes me. Our how-to videos are one of a kind, with more information than anybody out there. We install in all kinds of weather: snow, rain, the hottest days of the year, the coldest days of the year. And as you watch our videos, you'll see we do it with a smile. And I think that's the key to installing any great system, is to keep that smile on your face. So for all the do-it-yourselfers that are looking for the best advice, we're going to go ahead and start a questions and answers. I get hundreds of emails every day asking questions that range from basement footers, what we're looking at right now, how do we waterproof that basement exterior wall, to how to install the simple French drain. You know, when I started Live Help about 3 or 4 years ago, I've been able to help thousands of people every year, but it's still not enough. There's still hundreds of emails, so many questions, so many people, they're looking for the proper way to install these systems. And so let's go ahead and post questions and answers. I have literally hundreds of videos, and we can post a question and I can post a video right beside the question to help you understand what you need to do. You know, what's really strange out there is that when I post a video, usually within a couple of days, you will see other channels trying to copy the video. And I'm not sure what they're trying to establish with that, but they definitely like to copy Apple Drains. There's even a channel out there that copied our domain name so closely, just one letter off, and redirects to their site. What kind of person is that? You know, I'm kind of flattered, but I mean, they're not even in our state. These channels are bad-mouthing and putting down other companies, other material manufacturers, telling you that the only way your system will work is to do it their way and use their material. But the interesting thing is, the people that are telling you all these things, all this information, they've never picked up a shovel in their life. One of the biggest things that I hear when I talk to customers or when I do a live help is that people are overwhelmed. The DIY person is overwhelmed with the amount of work that it actually takes to put in a French drain. In other words, they really can't see the end of the project. They start into the project, they're very excited and enthusiastic about it, but all of a sudden they realize, hey, this is a lot of labor, and they really get frustrated. Take a look at Apple Drains videos. You will learn. You will be able to see the end of the project. You'll be able to picture the entire installation in your mind before you start. So when you're ready to install your French drain or your channel drain, driveway channel drain, pool channel drain, sump pump, backyard sump pump, waterproof your crawl space, there are a lot of different rainwater drainage systems. When you're ready to do one of these, take a look at Apple Drain's YouTube channel. Share it with your friends. I promise you that you will be inspired and you will see a complete install. Learn how to do this the proper way. And I'll promise you one more thing. If you hire a contractor, they've already watched all of our videos and learned how to do this too. Hey, this is Chuck with Apple Drains, reminding you that if you believe you can do something, I guarantee you can do it. Have a great day. Hey, good morning. Chuck here with Apple Drains. Today I'd like to show you an example of how perforated pipe with gravel works.